Greetings, Stickermans, and welcome to yet another edition of Scrapped Week. In today's video, I wanted to share something very special. Um, that being a Jake the Player special, Jake versus Rob the Almighty, which was my first ever film. It was a very big endeavor for the time. It started out in Christmas 2021 and it was tinkered around with till around mid 2023 when it was ultimately shelved. You've probably gotten to see some remnants of it over the years, especially those early years. Um, I guess it's most notable for being a retelling of my first ever big Jake the Player, which was Jake the Player Christmas Special, Jake versus Evil. Um, what is it about? It is about Jake comes into contact with an alien symbiote and gets transported to an alternate dimension called the Distortor Realm, where anything is possible. He's accompanied by a robot named Data, or back then it was named Doctor Therapy. Um, and so they're traversing this other reality as they're trying to make their way back to theirs. um, and it's a lot of fun. And ultimately, it was mostly shelved because my skills were just not there at the time. Um, However, coming next year, we are restarting the SOMCU, or Sticker Media Cinematic Universe, and it's one of the projects that is going to be revisited as a movie for the first chapter. So look forward to seeing this story revisited uh, in that new endeavor, the interconnected universe. But without further ado, here is the original 2022, well, with a little bit of 2023 stuff in there, version of Jake the Player Special, Jake versus Rob the Almighty. Enjoy. Alright, now here is a Jake the Player Special, Jake versus Rob the Almighty. Cue the old intro. Oh, okay, this is the very old intro. Wow. Ooh, dang. What a chopped logo. Hey, but the S still swooshes like that somewhat, so that's pretty cool. Uh yeah. It's a slow start here, I think. Here. Come on. Give me something at least. Trying to be all deep and oh, there it is. Okay. Stickle Media proudly presents a bunch of dots. I guess it's supposed to be a galaxy. Starring Jake. Pawn. Or Paul. You probably know him as Paul. Silent Dreams. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that in the last few videos. The character Data, or Doctor Therapy, in this version at least, is played by Silent Dreams. Yes, the guy who makes the Sonic remixes. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. But yeah, all these other guys, man. Bo, Jay the Plant. I still talk with a lot of these people, which is pretty great to see. Uh, just never ever stop talking with uh, those good connections. You never know. All right, guess long Earth shot. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of Jay the Plant, gonna be doing more stuff with him soon, so stay tuned for that. And there you have it. That's the ship, if you will. It's an okay model. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just gonna say this. These were made in I think it was called 3D Paint. It was the pre-installed 3D software on Windows 10. Yeah. Uh, these were just freaking blocky. Oh look, there's Rose, and that other guy was Captain X. Yep. And there's a pod or something. Now, here's the stock footage time. So pretty much that beginning part, much like Drake Origins, there's just a laser ship that comes to Earth, kind of like a Death Star. It's thwarted by this faction called the Galactic Peace Federation, and that contains Rose, that space fox from just a minute ago, and Data, the robot that's played by Silent Dreams, and yeah, they're the good guys. So what happens is this symbiote character, or you may know him as Evil Jake, he was in a pod on board the ship and was lost during the fight as the Dark Imperium was fleeing. So yeah, as you can see, this guy right here, he won't be doing this in the newer version that I plan on doing, but he'll still cause some destruction. But yeah, that's Evil Jake right there, the OG version. Very rough animation. But hey, it was one of my first animations here. Lots of stock footage. I think a lot of these were just GIFs I found, and then I just threw them onto CapCut on my phone. Like, makes no sense, huh? It's deep and philosophical. These long, drawn out environment shots. Which, again, I'm going to remind y'all, is it's okay to have your long environment shots, but they have to have purpose. If they're going to set up something, at least. This is just Windows XP. um, yeah, not good. But yeah, I really don't got much to say about this segment. There's more in a bit. Um, I guess I can just throw this out here while we're waiting for something to happen. Yeah, this was when I really started to try to get more fancy with my editing. As you can see, look, he's reversing the same footage we just saw. Oh. Ooh, something. That's something right there. Oh, I think we're about to see him. Yep. There's Dr. Therapy, or Data, as he's been renamed to, the robot. Uh, Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I forget where this is at. It's somewhere in my town. Trains. Yep. There I am chilling, drinking a root beer. What? He thought it was alcohol. Nah, man. I think I was like 16 here. Oh my God, that's the original Jake the Player jacket. I've gotten like two of those jackets since then. Yeah, they just kept getting jacked up. And look. This is just a really quick recap of the first season of Jake the Player. That's crazy. By the time we got to this Jake the Player, we were already done with the whole season. The first season, which I looking back should really be just treated as like the pilot season. I was still definitely learning a lot of things, but it's fun to go back to because hey, that was the start of something huge, Jake the Player, and a series that still goes on to this day, with season 5 currently going on. Oh my God, yeah, the Squid Games craze of the time. Oh yeah, that's Jake versus Evil, right there, the Christmas special. Yep. What a random video. Cut the rope for 3DS. All right, I think we're about to get into the meat and potatoes of this video finally. Uh, yep. There was originally a segment about Angry Birds for the Xbox. Oh, there is my main man, Radhead. You will be catching him in an upcoming Jake the Player as well. He's playing Hank in my Paws of Fury video game video. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, still very much talking with this guy still. He's really cool, and you should check out his channel. Uh, Shameless plug. But yeah, really funny guy. He has that just wackiness about him. Uh, what do you expect? Or redhead, glasses, kind of kooky. Gotta love it. But yeah, Oh yeah, CEO of gaming. I remember that. I remember that trend too. Everyone on Discord would call themselves CEO of something. CEO of. I'm gonna stop myself right there. It's gonna get pretty wild. Hey, I just noticed he was holding a leapfrog. I have one of those too. Oh, I think this is. Yep. So, Squid Game was going to be implemented into this story, uh, which is pretty lame. This should have just been an original story. Oh yeah, there was this guy. That guy was playing like a therapist or something, which was kind of like a play on the Scott the Woz therapist at the time. Oh yeah, Scott the Woz was definitely big at this time. Well, I'm so sorry if this is hurting anyone's eyes. I do apologize. Way after the fact, I'm warning y'all. Oh yeah, here's some early. I wouldn't even call it compositing. That's just straight up just throwing myself onto there. That's not compositing. That's just green screen. Uh, Maybe it's compositing. Oh yeah, that one. That shot right there. That was just me running on top of desks. In fact, my teacher filmed it for me, which I still commend him. Pretty funny. Oh, look, Evil Jake fight. Not really a fight, more like PNGs being moved around like Invincible. Man, Invincible catching strays. I love Invincible, by the way. Okay, yep. I don't know what that was about. Okay, so this was like an alternate 2023 redone, rework, if you will. As you can see, there's Dr. Therapy over there, or Data. I'm just gonna just refer to him as Data from now on, as that's his canon name now. Yep, this is definitely 2023 here. I was going back, cause that year I was planning on redoing it, but I never got the chance to because at that time, all these other big projects like you've seen so far in Scrapped Week were taking up the production workload. But yeah, there's Evil Jake again. Yeah, he needs a bit of a redesign. This is kind of silly, man. We had so many COVID masks during this time, so I implemented it into the design. Uh, Look, Comet Gamer. Look, that's Comet Gamer right there. I think that was his first ever appearance, actually. Okay, that's a cool design right there. I will admit. That's also from one of the early, uh, I guess, behind the scenes videos. So I'm glad I included that. I'm going to be including some other stuff besides just what the special had to offer. Because there was also this, as for instance, was uploaded in 2023 as well. I think 2023 as a separate video. There was this part in the special where I was transported into this place called the Evil Jake store, which is actually an ongoing series, only because I want to finish its story, as it's more of a legacy thing. Uh, I guess I have the final night of part two to do, and then who knows? Maybe we'll get a Evil Jake Store part three. We'll see. But yeah, this is so funny. If you want to watch the full video, it is uploaded separately. You can find it. It's just called uh, 5 nights. No, 3 nights at the Evil Jake store because it's not the full 5 nights. That would be too long for what this is. I forgot what room I was filming this in. It was definitely at school. Um, I think the power went out, so people were egging me on. Hey, Jake, you're like a filmmaking guy, right? Yeah. Okay. Make something spooky. And so I just I collected these clips and made a FNAF clone out of footage. I think it worked out pretty well. As you can see, it's some pretty cool editing. Very early, rough editing, but editing regardless. A lot more going on here. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right, night two. All right. Jump scare, I think, in three, two, one. Yeah, that's kind of silly. Night two again, cause you got to get good. You can't suck at these kind of games. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get on the grind set. If you this whole setup makes no sense. Why is there just a computer right there? Okay, that didn't make sense. Okay, now we're in a vent. Definitely just like visual things stolen from FNAF games. Not really well thought out here with the mechanics. Okay, that room served no purpose. Maybe it was a mini game. I'm not too sure. Okay. Oh, a fully rendered office. Interesting. Yeah, so this was like some of my early 3D environment stuff, I guess. It's a room. Just cubes. Hey, that's cool, I suppose. I don't know why the power is going down so fast. That's a little wonky. Okay. What's this bee doing? What the bee doing? Oh, no, no, I'm not gonna do that. Um, okay. Who's this dude? A shadowy figure. Interesting. That's definitely not gonna have any implications down the line. Okay, another office. I think there's like been seven. No, no, I'm counting wrong. Five offices so far in just this segment. That's too many offices. Who needs that many offices? It's a store. The evil Jake store makes no sense. Okay, get fogged up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what the hell? Okay, that's. Dude, I looked so chopped with that short hair. I'm like, you gotta know, you gotta understand. I was in ROTC at the time, so I had to keep up that look. Oh, Evil Paul. Hey, that's cool. I think I've shown him in a few other things. I think he was in the Evil Jake uh, Halloween special from 2023. That was also 2023, huh? I'm telling you, 2023 was a pretty big, packed year in terms of stuff. Almost everything I've shown here for Scrap Week was from 2023. Okay, that's very janky. I had to catch myself there. Yeah, okay. That's some very ugly PS1 looking visual. I don't know. I don't know what this was about. Hey, Paul, man, he looks so different. Hey, my friend Bo, that's my boy right there. Yeah. And there he walks off into the sunset. Post credit scene. I think this is probably a post credit scene. Yeah, Rob is supposed to come to the real world. That's going to be in the new version. But moving on from that, I want to show you all the prologues, which is this one right here. I think this was the alternate Jakes from other realities. This doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of Jake versus Rob the Almighty. This was kind of like a one-off thing. Okay, look, I think this is pretty cool. What I'm gonna show you. Yeah, very obvious removed background. Uh, they're gonna do the Spider-Man thing. Wow, that's how my room used to look. Yeah. Hey, hey, look, they're doing the Spider-Man thing. That was cool. Yep, this is definitely early Jake the Player days. Damn, what a messy room. Okay, interesting. Which reminds me, I do need to clean up my room. Yeah, that's a given, no matter how old you are. Okay. So yeah, just the gist of this is I was just messing around with the remove background feature on CapCut, and so we have all these different jigs running around, just yapping to each other. Really, really silly. This doesn't have any lore implications. Not really. I would later revisit this with the Jake versus Jake stuff, which you can check out still. I have them up still, even though they're not canon anymore. That was a really bad attempt at two Jakes shaking their hands together. That was dumb. Um, but yeah, I would revisit this. Maybe I'll revisit again later on, but I don't know. I think multiverse stuff has really run its course at this moment in time, and needs to be given some rest just for a bit. If I was to do more multiverse stuff, it's gonna be just me, just not. I don't like to overcomplicate lore anymore. I used to be like, okay, how deep and sophisticated can this get? Yeah, like this is a good example. Uh, I think this is the Night Owls. Yes. So the Night Owls was a short series I did with Comic Gamer. Yes, he had his own series here on the original SOMCU. Um, you can watch that still. It's in the old SOMCU playlist. But yeah, this was, I think, one of my first very heavy CGI experiments. Um, awful models. A lot of these models were made on this app on my phone called Sculpt Plus. Uh, it used to be a really good app. I haven't checked up on it, but last time I checked it, it's kind of unusable unless you really pay a lot for it. Like they even paywalled the ability to export and import. Like that's crazy. Uh, yeah. So I think that should be just a feature that should be come included. Maybe fancy brushes, I understand, or other knickknacks. Yeah, then I'll probably pay. But yeah, oh, that's my little Sculpt Plus rant. I can't deny it did help me get kickstart my modeling career. Not modeling in front of cameras, you know what I mean. 3D modeling. But oh, wait, that's a pretty. It's a pretty edgy environment. Dark. Why is there just a guy? Okay, yeah, like this makes no sense, right? Okay, this is very cult looking. Interesting. It's a big owl. Okay, interesting. There's comic. Yep, that's a very ugly hand, and there's a very live action hand that makes no sense, and definitely is my hand. And there's my hand again. Trippy. This is so stupid. um, like, what am I even watching? I don't know. Actually, these Night Owl videos, I don't know why, but they were kind of, I wouldn't say popular. People watched them and liked them. I guess just for their experimental nature. These were the first times I was doing a lot of these effect stuff. Not really effects. It's really just like PNG stuff. Um, yeah, I don't remember what this was about. Why? Yeah, like why is there like a light post connected to that? So pretty much other factions. I forget what they're called. Fire people. I don't know. This makes no sense. Okay, interesting. Okay, interesting environment. What's this about? Okay, Okay, I think I remember about this room thing. There was a website that lets you model what you want your dream house layouts to be, and yeah, this is what that is. So yeah, yeah. Like, why is he teabagging right there? Okay, interesting. This makes no sense. It's just trippy and dark and weird and edgy and all the wrong things. But it was definitely an experiment for sure. There's just Comic Gamer PNG talking to Evil Jake PNG, back to Comic Gamer PNG, back to Evil Jake PNG, which goes back to, you guessed it, three, two, one, Comic Gamer PNG. Oh wow, uh, which goes back to Evil Jake PNG, and then it goes. I'm sorry for the background if it's nauseating. Oh look, PNG, another PNG. Yeah, so it's just flip flopping between these. Once again, very Invincible like. Crazy Chicken Shooter. Yep. Great game. Not really. Oh, now oh, there's three PNGs of the same guy. That's crazy. Then roll credits. Starring Comic Gamer. Miss him so much. He was so cool. You should make like a video or something. Just so we know he's alive. All right. Nah. These models, man, they're just. And look, a jarring, if you will, of the same 3D models. And the Big Owl again. What? Okay. Sticko Media proudly presents a Jake the Player special. Jake versus Rob the Almighty. And you think we're done? Oh boy, we have one more prologue to go. The worst one. The worst one by far. Remember how I mentioned Squid Game was like a big thing at the time and I wanted to incorporate it into the special? Well, look no further than. Yep. I really try to get as much mileage out of this as I could. Oh my god. I remember I got those from a flea market, the masks. I think I still have that jacket. I don't even think it fits me anymore. But yeah, this is a weird interaction. It makes no sense. Like, what are they yapping to each other about? Irrelevant stuff happens. For Elise. The Jake the Player story. Oh my god. Sneak peek to what? Shots we already saw? Boo! Boring! Yeah, so pretty much the rest is just teaser for, the special. I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you want to check out more of the Night Owls and Squid Game stuff, by all means go and check out Season 1 playlist and the old SMCU playlist. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for the special. And there you have it. It was definitely one of my earliest works of all time. um, yeah, it's not aged well at all. But that's to be expected. This was actually some of my first ever 3D work, so that's pretty cool to see. Some of that's still archived and available for me to show to y'all. Yeah, uh, very long runtime there, huh? I think this is probably the longest one I've shown y'all so far this scrapped week. In terms of story, definitely a lot more well thought out from the get go. I think its only detractor was there was too many other things I wanted to add on top of the story, like cameos, random characters, like you saw Comic Gamer's first notable appearance in the Sticker Media sphere here. Also, one of Paul's early roles as well. Although he was in the Christmas special as well. So yeah, for he's been a long time stick comedian. But yeah, as you can see, very early go at making a feature, and it didn't go good. But hey, that's why I'm sharing these with you because I think it's important to share earlier versions of things, or just outright shelved projects such as this. It's really fun. It's really fun to look back at these, and it gets me all so nostalgic because I remember at a time this was considered peak to me. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say in regards to Rob the Almighty. So in the future, this will definitely be revisited. So keep your eyes open for that. We also may have a special presentation sometime this year. So maybe a few things will be announced. Maybe some revived Rob the Almighty thing. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, stay ultimate stick comedians.